I went to a new student dialogue on mental health in college students. Um, First off, I would like to say it was very informative. I was actually really surprised at how much I learned and how well done it was. Um, it was not exactly what I thought it was going to be because I thought it was going to be something like dealing with stress in college students and being able to deal with things as they come and not get overburdened, but it was more on actual mental disorders like schizophrenia and OCD, extreme anxiety and stress, and I think there were a lot of others, but it's all I can remember off the top of my head. Um, I personally feel like my group did achieve true dialogue. It it was a really open environment. The I guess the proctors or the people that came up with the course did a really good job of making sure everybody felt included and that no one felt like they were going to be ridiculed for what they were saying or their ideas. No one argued. I was really surprised about that with how many different types of people were in the room, just from all walks of life. We had people, I mean, not judging or anything, but you obviously had people that had money, people that didn't have money, and people that felt certain ways about some things, and everybody was different, but everybody was really respectful. Somebody would say something, and no one would have a problem with it, and if anybody did respond to it, it was in a really respectful manner that I was honestly very surprised at. Um, our group started out very one-sided. The first thing we did was an icebreaker, and there were a few people that were very open, like very excited to be meeting people. They were loud. They not loud. Well, they were loud, but in a friendly manner. And there were other people that when they got up to do their part, they were very quiet. You could barely hear them. And even as we got into the first activity, some people were more willing to talk, and whereas others didn't say anything. You know, that's to be expected. But then as time went on, it did become a lot more equal. Everybody was talking. Well, not everybody, but more people were talking. More people felt open and friendly and accepted. I was very pleased with how things turned out. It was an excellent environment. And once again, I was very surprised. There were a lot. There were active voices and there were reserved voices. And some, like I said, the people, it was one-sided. The active voices immediately jumped out, and just about every time there was a chance to be talking, these people were talking. And then on the opposite side of that, there were a few people that never said anything. They never talked at all. They just sat and observed. And there were, still some other people that were somewhere in between. There were some people that started out not saying anything and then progressed into talking. And then there were also people that started out saying lots. And as we got deeper and deeper, they got more somber, which I thought was interesting to see the both flip. Very rarely do you see someone go from talking a lot to not talking at all. Um, the people that didn't talk at first were the people that had really deep things to say as things got more real, I guess you could call it, as we started talking about self-harm and people cutting and stuff like that. That's when the people that were quiet at the beginning started talking, and they were and when they started talking, everybody was completely glued to them, because since they were talking, it was obviously something they wanted to hear, that it was a big deal. I was a very active voice in in my dialogue. Anytime there was a chance to talk, I did talk. Anytime there was a chance to respond to someone, I responded. Um, I've always been this way. I've never been someone to sit back and let others do everything and to watch from the sidelines. I'm usually the person everybody else is watching do things. So I was perfectly at home talking to people in front of people, not a big deal to me. I've always been very outspoken and confident, and I try my best not to offend anyone, but it's going to happen from time to time. And what's really important is how you deal with that once you get to that situation. The dialogue was something that I didn't really get the point of going into it. Seemed a little 2 hours out of my life when I have classes to deal with seems a little bit excessive and cumbersome. But that being said, it was very useful to me. I think it's a I think it's a wonderful thing, and it does a good job. It does its purpose. It shows us that people can have very different opinions and still get along, which really needs to be reiterated from an elementary school level all the way up into a level of Congress. You don't have to be angry at someone just because they have a different opinion. And not only did it help me, well, I've always known that, but it made it very obvious. Not only did it do that, it helped me learn a lot about my fellow students here at Clemson. Where I live in Lever, we're all very open, and I'm almost never alone. And there were people that admitted to feeling like they were alone since they come to Clemson. And it really made me realize that even on our campus, there's a lot of diversity. I mean, you don't think about someone having a problem with severe anxiety or cutting while you're in college because everybody seems to be happy going to football games. And let's be honest, people go out and party, and it just doesn't seem like people would be sad. But it's here, and it's something we've all got to be very, very aware of. I think it was a wonderful experience. I'd gladly do it again, maybe on a different subject, maybe on the same subject. It doesn't matter to me. But overall, very good experience in my dialogue.